Imagine this, you're standing at the edge of a vast ocean, waves crashing relentlessly against the shore, each one pulling back only to surge forward with even greater force. But what if, instead of chasing those waves, begging them to stay, you simply turn around, walk away, and let the silence speak for you? What if your absence becomes the loudest message you've ever sent? That's the power we're unleashing today, the raw, unfiltered truth about what happens when you go completely silent on the avoidant. You've been pouring your heart out, chasing connection, only to be met with walls, distance, and that frustrating push-pull dance that leaves you exhausted and questioning your worth. But hear me now, silence isn't weakness. It's your ultimate weapon of transformation. It's the moment you reclaim your energy, your dignity, and your life. And in that silence, something profound begins to shift, not just in you, but in them. Let me paint a picture for you. You've been in this cycle, haven't you? The avoidant pulls you close just enough to keep you hooked, then vanishes like smoke when things get real. You text, you call, you explain, you plead, desperately trying to bridge the gap, but every effort only widens it. Now, flip the script, go silent, completely. No more reaching out, no more explanations, just pure intentional space. What starts happening? Their world, built on avoidance and control, begins to crack. The avoidant thrives on your pursuit because it validates their fear of intimacy without demanding they face it. But when you stop, when your voice fades into the ether, that's when the real magic, or should I say the real reckoning, begins. Think about it in relationships. Energy is everything. You've been giving while they've been taking cover behind emotional barriers. Silence disrupts that flow. It forces them to confront the emptiness they've created. Suddenly, the phone that used to buzz with your messages is quiet. The social media checks reveal nothing. Your presence, once a constant, is gone, and in that void their mind starts racing. Why aren't they chasing me anymore? Have I lost them for good? These questions aren't just thoughts, they're seismic shifts in their psyche. Avoidants are wired to fear engulfment, but deep down, they also fear abandonment. Your silence awakens that dormant fear, not to punish, but to provoke growth. But this isn't just about them, it's about you. By choosing silence, you're breaking free from the addiction of the chase. You're stepping into your power, realizing that you don't need their validation to feel whole. You've been conditioned to believe that love means fighting for it endlessly, but true empowerment comes from knowing when to stop. Silence teaches you resilience. It rebuilds your self-esteem brick by brick. As days turn into weeks, you start investing in yourself, hitting the gym, pursuing passions, surrounding yourself with people who reciprocate your energy. And guess what? That radiance, it becomes magnetic. The avoidant notices even from afar. Now, let's dive deeper into why this works. Avoidants often come from backgrounds where vulnerability was punished or ignored. They learn to survive by detaching. Your constant pursuit reinforces that strategy. Why change when it works? But silence, it strips away their safety net. Without your input, they can't project their issues onto you. They have to sit with their own discomfort, and discomfort is the birthplace of change. Studies in psychology show that when one partner withdraws pursuit in anxious-avoidant dynamics, it can trigger the avoidant to reevaluate their patterns. But we're not talking cold science here, we're talking real-life breakthroughs. Picture a friend of mine. Let's call her Sarah. She was tangled in a 2-year roller coaster with an avoidant partner. Endless cycles of closeness followed by ghosting. She finally decided enough. She went silent. No dramatic announcement. Just at first, nothing. Then, subtle signs: the avoidant liking old posts, viewing stories. A week later, a tentative text. Hey, everything okay? But Sarah held firm. In her silence, she journaled, meditated, rebuilt her life. Months passed, and when he finally reached out meaningfully, it was different. He admitted his fears, sought therapy. Not every story ends in reunion, but every one ends in your empowerment. This silence isn't passive, it's strategic. It's you saying, I deserve reciprocity. And as you embody that, the avoidant starts mirroring it back, or they fade away, making room for someone who won't. Either way, you win. So if you're ready to stop the chase and start the change, lean in. Because when you go silent, the universe conspires to reveal truths you've been too busy pursuing to see. Your life transforms, their facade crumbles. And from the ashes of that old dynamic rises something authentic, or the freedom to walk away stronger than ever. That's the hook, my friends. But now, Let's break it down into 10 highly engaging key points that will light a fire in your soul and show you exactly what unfolds when you embrace this powerful silence. Imagine the moment your phone stops lighting up with desperate attempts to fill the silence you've created. That's when the void truly hits hard for the avoidant. They've grown accustomed to your presence like a constant hum in the background, reliable, predictable, always there to chase after them when they pull away. But now, nothing. No texts, no calls, no social media interactions. That absence creates a vacuum, sucking in all the emotions they've been dodging. It's not just about missing you. It's about missing the role you played in their life. You were the pursuer, the one who validated their worth without requiring them to fully commit. Without that, their days feel off kilter. They scroll through old conversations, replaying moments in their mind, wondering why the energy has shifted so dramatically. This void isn't superficial, it's primal. Avoidants often operate from a place of fear, rooted in past experiences where closeness led to pain or loss. Your silence amplifies that fear, but in a way that demands attention. They might not admit it right away, but internally, alarm bells are ringing. Why aren't they fighting for me? Becomes a recurring thought. It's uncomfortable, almost unbearable, because it challenges their core belief that they don't need anyone. Suddenly, routine activities feel hollow. Coffee in the morning lacks the spark of knowing you're thinking about them. Evenings stretch on endlessly without the distraction of your messages. This emptiness forces them to confront how much space you actually occupied in their emotional landscape. As the days pass, this void manifests in subtle behaviors. They might increase their social media activity, posting things they know you'd like, hoping to elicit a response. Or they could dive into work or hobbies with frantic energy, trying to fill the gap. But nothing quite does it. Your silence acts like a mirror, reflecting back their own detachment. They've been so focused on maintaining distance that they never realized how reliant they were on your proximity. Now, with you gone quiet, the imbalance is glaring. It's like removing a crutch they've been leaning on without knowing it. Their confidence wavers, doubts creep in. Did I push too far? Am I really okay on my own? This internal crisis builds momentum. Avoidants aren't emotionless, they're just skilled at suppressing feelings. But suppression has limits. The void prays open those compartments, letting emotions seep out. Regret might surface first, followed by anxiety. They start analyzing past interactions, seeing their avoidance for what it is, a defense mechanism that's now backfiring. Friends or family might notice their distraction, asking what's wrong, which only amplifies the unease. In this space, growth seeds are planted. They might journal, talk to a therapist, or simply sit with the discomfort, something they've avoided for years. Your role in this: you're not manipulating, you're liberating. By going silent, you're giving them the gift of self-awareness. But more importantly, you're protecting your own energy. While they're grappling with the void, you're thriving in the freedom it provides you. You redirect that chasing energy inward, building habits, nurturing friendships, pursuing goals. The contrast is stark. Their world dims, yours brightens. This dynamic shift underscores a universal truth. True connection requires mutual effort. When one side stops overgiving, the other must step up or step aside. As the void deepens, it often leads to behavioral changes. They might reach out to mutual friends, fishing for information about you. Or they could binge, watch shows you both loved, seeking comfort in shared memories. These actions reveal the depth of their attachment hidden beneath layers of avoidance. It's empowering to know that your silence has such impact. It proves you mattered more than they let on. But don't break it prematurely. Let the void do its work. Patience here is key, as rushing back in resets the cycle. Eventually, this void becomes a catalyst. For some avoidants, it sparks genuine change. They recognize the pattern and vow to break it. For others, it confirms their fears, leading them further into isolation. Either outcome serves you, a changed partner, or the space to find someone who matches your energy. Remember, the void isn't punishment, it's perspective. It humanizes the avoidant, showing they're not invincible. And for you, it's validation that your worth isn't defined by their response. In essence, when the void hits hard, it's the beginning of the end for the old dynamic. It strips away illusions, forcing honesty. You've stopped playing the game on their terms, and in doing so, you've rewritten the rules. Embrace this phase. It's where true power lies. The silence you maintain isn't empty. It's filled with potential, reshaping not just their reality, but yours into something extraordinary. Keep holding that space and watch how the universe responds. Without your constant pursuit acting as a buffer, the avoidant's carefully constructed emotional walls begin to show signs of wear. These defenses, built over years of avoiding intimacy, have served as their shield, keeping vulnerability at bay. But silence, it acts like a slow, persistent erosion, chipping away at the foundation. They've relied on your chasing to maintain distance without consequence. Now, with no input from you, those walls have nothing to push against. The pressure builds from within. As unaddressed emotions start pressing outward, this cracking isn't dramatic at first, it's subtle, almost insidious. A fleeting thought here, a restless night there. They might dismiss it initially, telling themselves they're fine, that independence is their strength. But deep down, the facade is faltering. Avoidants often use tactics like minimization or rationalization to cope, or wasn't that serious anyway, or I need space to focus on myself. Yet, in the quiet you've imposed, these excuses ring hollow. Without your energy to deflect onto, they have to face the mirror of their own making. As cracks widen, vulnerabilities emerge. Perhaps it's a childhood memory of rejection surfacing, or the realization that their avoidance stems from fear, not choice. This exposure is uncomfortable, even painful, but it's necessary for any real change. Psychology tells us that avoidant attachment forms as a survival strategy, but it thrives in unbalanced dynamics. Your silence disrupts that balance, forcing them to adapt or crumble further. They might experience heightened anxiety, manifesting as irritability or withdrawal from others, but ironically, this pushes them toward introspection. In this phase, you hold the upper hand without lifting a finger. Your absence highlights their reliance on detachment as a crutch. As defenses weaken, they may exhibit uncharacteristic behaviors, checking your online presence more frequently or even drafting messages they never send. These are signs that the walls are not as impenetrable as they seemed. It's empowering for you to witness this shift even indirectly because it validates that your efforts weren't in vain, they were just misdirected. Sustaining silence during this cracking is crucial. Any premature contact could patch those fissures, resetting progress. Instead, use this time to fortify your own boundaries. Engage in self-care rituals that reinforce your worth, exercise, meditation, creative pursuits. As their defenses crack, your resolve strengthens, creating a beautiful symmetry of personal evolution. Over time, these cracks can lead to breakthroughs. Some avoidants seek professional help, recognizing patterns they can't ignore anymore. Others might attempt to rebuild walls higher, but even that requires acknowledging the breach. Regardless, the process humanizes them, stripping away the myth of their emotional invincibility. For you, it's a lesson in patience and power. Silence doesn't just affect them, it transforms you into someone who no longer settles for less. This weakening of defenses opens doors to authenticity. When walls crack, true emotions peek through. Regret, longing, even love that's been suppressed. It's a vulnerable state for them, one that might prompt tentative steps toward reconciliation. But remember, your silence isn't about forcing their change, it's about honoring yours. Let the cracks do the work and trust that whatever emerges will be more real than what came before. In the end, cracking defenses is a pivotal turning point. It shifts the power dynamic, proving that avoidance isn't sustainable without enablers. You've stopped enabling, and in doing so, you've initiated a chain reaction of potential healing for both of you. Forced into the quiet you've created, the avoidant has no choice but to turn inward, where self-reflection awaits like an uninvited guest. This isn't the casual pondering they might do in passing, it's a deep, often unsettling dive into their own psyche. Without your distractions, your messages, your presence, they're left alone with their thoughts, and those thoughts demand answers. Why did I push them away? What am I really afraid of? These questions bubble up, challenging long-held beliefs about independence and intimacy. Self-reflection kicks in as a natural response to the discomfort of silence. Avoidants are masters at externalizing issues, blaming circumstances or partners for relational failures. But with you silent, there's no one to project onto. The spotlight turns inward, illuminating patterns they've ignored. Perhaps they recall past relationships ending similarly, seeing the common thread, their avoidance. This awareness can be jarring, like waking from a dream to face reality. As reflection deepens, insights emerge. They might recognize how their fear of vulnerability stems from early experiences, parents who were emotionally unavailable, or betrayals that taught them trust is risky. These realizations aren't comfortable, they stir guilt, shame, even grief, but they're essential for growth. In this space, some avoidants turn to resources, books on attachment theory, online forums, or therapy sessions to make sense of it all. Your silence facilitates this process without you having to say a word. It's a powerful reminder that change comes from within, not from external pressure. While they're reflecting, you're free to do the same, but from a place of empowerment. Ask yourself, what drew me to this dynamic? How can I choose differently next time? This mutual introspection, though separate, aligns your paths toward healthier interactions. The beauty of this phase is its potential for transformation. Self-reflection often leads to behavioral shifts, small at first, like journaling emotions or practicing mindfulness. For the avoidant, it's a step toward secure attachment, where intimacy isn't feared but embraced. Not all will take it, but those who do emerge changed, more capable of reciprocity. Sustaining your silence during this reflection is key. Interrupting could derail their process. Instead, focus on your growth. Build a life so fulfilling that their absence becomes irrelevant. As they question themselves, you affirm your worth, creating a foundation for whatever comes next. Ultimately, self-reflection is the bridge from avoidance to awareness. It humanizes the avoidant, showing they're not broken, just unexamined. And for you, it's validation that your silence was the catalyst they needed. Embrace this stage. It's where real change begins to take root. With silence enveloping them, memories that were once suppressed start flooding back like a tidal wave, overwhelming the avoidant's carefully maintained detachment. These aren't just random recollections, they're vivid, emotional snapshots of the connection you shared. The laughter, the intimacy, the moments when their guard was down. Without your presence to dismiss them, these memories demand attention, stirring nostalgia that chips away at their resolve. This flood is powerful because avoidants often compartmentalize positive experiences to justify their distance. But in the quiet, compartments overflow. A song on the radio triggers a memory of a shared drive, a familiar scent recalls your embrace. These sensory cues amplify the longing, making the past feel painfully present. It's not just missing you, it's missing the version of themselves they were with you, more open, less guarded. As memories resurface, regret often follows. They replay arguments, seeing their role in the push away more clearly. I could have handled that differently, becomes a mantra. This nostalgia isn't superficial, it's a confrontation with what they've lost. It humanizes you in their mind, transforming you from the chaser to the one who got away. Your silence enhances this process by removing distractions. Without new interactions, the past looms larger, forcing them to process unresolved feelings. This can lead to emotional turbulence, sleepless nights, daydreams, even tears they've long avoided. In this flood, opportunities for growth arise. Some avoidants use it as motivation to address their issues, seeking ways to recapture that connection healthily. Others might wallow, but even that pushes them toward change. For you, knowing this flood is happening is empowering. It confirms your impact, boosting your confidence as you build a future without dependency. Let the memories work their magic. Your role is to stay strong in silence. Ultimately, this phase reshapes their perspective, turning avoidance into appreciation. It's a pivotal step toward potential reconciliation or peaceful closure. Subtle at first, the avoidant's tentative reach-outs signal that your silence has pierced their armor. These aren't bold declarations, they're cautious probes. A like on an old post, a story view, or a vague text like, "Hope you're good." Beneath the casualness lies vulnerability, a hidden attachment surfacing as they test if the door is still open. This behavior stems from the discomfort of your absence. Avoidants fear rejection, so they dip toes in water rather than dive. Each reach out is an admission. They care more than they've shown. It's their way of gauging your response without full commitment. Observing this from silence empowers you. You see the shift in dynamics. You're no longer chasing, they're pursuing. This reversal validates your worth and the effectiveness of your strategy. Maintaining no response is crucial. Replying too soon could reinforce old patterns. Use this time to reflect on what you truly want. Do these reach-outs indicate real change, or just temporary unease? As reach-outs escalate, they might become more direct. Calls, apologies, invitations to talk. This progression shows your silence is working, prompting them to step out of comfort zones. Remember, not all reach-outs lead to happily ever after. Some are manipulative, testing control. Discern wisely, prioritizing your healing. In essence, tentative reach-outs reveal the avoidant's true feelings, hidden until now. Embrace this as progress, but hold your ground. Your silence continues to teach, guide, and transform. By committing to silence, you catapult your personal power to new heights, transforming from pursuer to empowered individual. This shift isn't about revenge, it's about reclaiming control over your emotions, time, and life. No longer expending energy on unreciprocated efforts, you redirect it inward, fostering growth that radiates outward. Confidence surges as you realize your worth doesn't hinge on their validation. Each day of silence reinforces this, building resilience like muscle. You start attracting healthier dynamics naturally, friends who support, opportunities that excite, because your vibe shifts from needy to self-assured. This power manifests in boundaries. You learn to say no to toxicity, yes to fulfillment. Activities once neglected, hobbies, career ambitions, take center stage, creating a richer life. The avoidance reactions further amplify your power. Their reach-outs confirm your influence, but you choose engagement on your terms. This autonomy is liberating, breaking cycles of dependency. Sustain this by practicing self-compassion. Acknowledge the pain, but celebrate the strength. Surround yourself with positivity, affirmations, supportive communities to maintain momentum. Ultimately, skyrocketing power equips you for better relationships. Whether with a changed avoidant or someone new, you enter as an equal, not a beggar. Silence isn't just a tactic, it's your path to unshakable empowerment. The unease of your silence propels the avoidant toward growth, making change not optional but inevitable. Discomfort acts as a teacher, highlighting unsustainable patterns. Without your pursuit cushioning them, they must confront avoidance head-on. This push often leads to self-help, therapy, books, workshops, where they unpack fears and learn secure relating. It's not overnight, it's a journey sparked by your absence. Your silence models healthy boundaries, showing reciprocity is essential. As they grow, they may become more emotionally available, capable of the connection they once fled. Not all embrace this, some double down on avoidance. But even then, growth occurs indirectly as they learn actions have consequences. For you, witnessing this sit or not reinforces your decision. Focus on your evolution, knowing you've catalyzed potential positive change. In time, inevitable growth benefits everyone. It breaks generational cycles, fostering healthier interactions. Your silence is the spark, their growth the flame. In the serenity of silence, your healing accelerates, cleansing the wounds of the toxic dynamic. Free from the emotional roller coaster, you gain clarity, seeing the relationship for what it was, unbalanced, draining. This phase allows detoxification. You process grief, anger, forgiveness at your pace without interruptions. Therapy or journaling aids this, uncovering patterns that drew you to avoidance. Self-love blooms. You prioritize well-being, nutrition, exercise, rest, rebuilding from the inside out. Confidence returns as you achieve personal milestones, proving capability independent of them. Support networks strengthen healing. Lean on friends, family, communities who affirm your value, countering the doubt the avoidant instilled. Boundaries solidify, preventing future entanglements. You learn red flags, trusting intuition over hope. Ultimately, accelerated healing leaves you renewed, ready for authentic love. Silence isn't loss, it's rebirth. Your silence redefines boundaries, establishing a new paradigm where mutual effort is non-negotiable. Previously blurred lines, tolerating ghosting, accepting crumbs, harden into clear expectations. This redefinition teaches the avoidant that half-hearted engagement won't suffice. Their reach-outs, if met with continued silence, underscore this lesson. For you, it's empowering. You internalize deserving respect, reciprocity. Future interactions start from this foundation, weeding out incompatibility early. Boundaries extend beyond them to all relationships, enhancing overall life quality. Maintain them firmly. Consistency is key. Any slip risks reverting to old dynamics. In redefining boundaries, you create space for genuine connections. It's a declaration of self-respect, inviting only those who match it. Either a transformed relationship emerges, or you gain the wisdom to release what's not serving you. Silence leads to clarity. Do they rise to meet you, or do you soar alone? This discernment frees you for fulfillment. If reconnection happens, it's on equal terms, built on growth. If not, you're unencumbered, open to abundance. Embrace this endpoint. It's your victory regardless of outcome. As we wrap up this journey through the transformative power of silence, let's reflect on the profound shifts that unfold when you choose to step back from the avoidant. You've seen how your absence creates a ripple effect, stirring voids, cracking defenses, and igniting self-reflection in ways that words never could. This isn't just a strategy, it's a reclamation of your essence, a bold statement that you will no longer pour into cups that refuse to fill yours. In embracing silence, you've not only disrupted their patterns but illuminated your own path to empowerment. The memories that flood them, the tentative reaches they make, these are testaments to the depth of connection that avoidance tried to bury. But more importantly, they've highlighted your inherent value, the magnetic force you are when unapologetically yourself. Growth becomes inevitable, not just for them in their discomfort, but for you in your healing. Boundaries are redrawn stronger and clearer, ensuring that any future interactions honor the reciprocity you deserve. And in the end, whether it leads to a renewed bond or the freedom to move forward, silence reveals the truth: you are whole, capable, and destined for relationships that amplify your light, not dim it. Now, imagine the life that awaits beyond this silence, a life where emotional games give way to genuine intimacy, where your energy is matched with enthusiasm, not evasion. You've broken the cycle not through confrontation or pleas, but through the quiet strength of withdrawal. This act of self-preservation teaches a universal lesson: true change stems from within, sparked by the absence of what was taken for granted. For the avoidant, it's a wake-up call to confront their fears, to evolve beyond the safety of solitude. For you, it's liberation, a shedding of the anxious chase that once defined your worth. As healing accelerates and power skyrockets, you emerge resilient with a heart fortified against settling. The key points we've explored aren't mere observations. They're blueprints for transformation, guiding you from pain to purpose. Silence, in its elegance, strips away illusions, forcing authenticity to the forefront. It's in this space that you discover the avoidant's hidden vulnerabilities, but more crucially, your untapped potential. No longer a victim of their push-pull, you become the architect of your destiny, designing connections that thrive on mutual respect and depth. Yet, this journey isn't without its challenges: the temptation to break silence, the ache of uncertainty. But remember, every great evolution demands discomfort. Your commitment to this path honors the part of you that yearns for more, that knows superficial bonds erode the soul. By going silent, you've initiated a chain reaction. Their defenses weaken, memories resurface, and growth beckons. Tentative reach-outs become bridges if they're genuine, or signals to release if not. In either case, you win. Healing isn't linear, it's a spiral upward, each turn building on the last. As boundaries solidify, you attract what aligns with your elevated vibration, partners who pursue with intention, friends who uplift without drain. This speech has armed you with insights to navigate the emotional terrain, but the real power lies in action. Silence isn't passive, it's proactive, a declaration that your peace is paramount. Embrace it fully and watch how the universe responds, aligning opportunities and people that reflect your newfound strength. Looking deeper, the essence of silence on the avoidant reveals a fundamental truth about human connection. We all crave it, even those who run from it. Their avoidance, often masked as independence, crumbles under the weight of genuine absence. You've learned that chasing reinforces distance, while silence invites proximity, or exposes its impossibility. This knowledge equips you for all relationships, not just romantic ones. Apply it to friendships, family, even professional ties, and see balance restored. The key points serve as anchors. The void that hits them hard mirrors the emptiness you once felt. Cracking defenses echoes your own vulnerability. Self-reflection mirrors your introspection. Memories flooding back remind you of shared joys. Tentative reach-outs affirm your impact. Your power skyrocketing is the reward. Growth inevitable, the hope. Healing accelerating, the balm. Boundaries redefined. The safeguard, reconnection, or release, the resolution. Together, they weave a tapestry of empowerment, proving that silence speaks volumes. In closing, let this be your mantra: when you go completely silent on the avoidant, worlds shift, not just theirs but yours, into alignment with abundance. You've moved from reaction to intention, from depletion to replenishment. The avoidance journey, sparked by your choice, may lead them to you anew or set them on their path alone. Either way, your silence has been the catalyst for profound change. Carry this wisdom forward. knowing that true love doesn't require pursuit, it meets you halfway. You've reclaimed your narrative, turning pain into power, avoidance into awareness. As you step into this new chapter, hold space for the possibilities silence has unlocked. Relationships thrive on equality, and you've ensured yours will too. Silence isn't the end, it's the beginning of authenticity. Finally, honor the courage it took to embrace this silence. You've faced the fear of loss, only to gain immeasurable self-respect. The avoidant in their reckoning may find their way back transformed, or you may find peace in their absence. Whichever unfolds, it's a victory forged in quiet strength. This speech isn't just words, it's a call to action, a reminder that you hold the reins. Go forth with the knowledge that silence heals, empowers, and reveals. Your future is bright, unburdened by unbalanced love. Embrace the happenings that follow. They are yours to shape. Thank you for joining me on this empowering exploration of silence's transformative power. You've taken the first step toward reclaiming your life. Now go live it boldly. Goodbye, and remember, your voice is strongest in the quiet.